I think I literally recorded my last video confessional yesterday. I forget. Did I? Maybe? I remember I uploaded it this morning, so like I know. Maybe I recorded it last night. Yeah, I recorded it right after Dean went home. This round, oh, it's because this round was auto and that's why, yeah. So, yeah, so here's what happened this round. So, the plan almost worked. So, you see, uh, should I go in with the series of events or we're gonna go in chronological order, so like how it happened, but it'll all make sense after I explain everything, hopefully. And I'll just quickly re-explain it. I'm kind of doing the edit for the thumbnail right now, but like ignore that. So basically, what happened was the idea was well, there's factions of two, three factions of two, and that would add up to an auto elimination. So what the plan was that me and Blixie would go together. Aaron Ferret goes together automatically because those two are just tight, right? And then Florangi and Trapira go together. They be Maximo out, but Maximo thinks he's going with me. So that almost worked, except last second Trippier told Maximo they factioned up. So Florangi didn't know until a minute before results when Trippier said, I'm so sorry. If that minute didn't happen, me and Florangi would not have had time to switch our faction results, which we did, and Blixie went home. So kind of my fault there, but yeah, so I had full control over Blixie's demise, which is so sad. But, we're final six now. We're good. We're good. And, yeah, so then the group therapy session happened, where basically me, Florangi, Maximo, Trippier went on to a VC. The four victims of Eradication Season 4 Runways, because that's really all this season's been about. It's been about us four just attempting to survive whilst also trying to kill each other all at the same time. It's been great, right? Like that's been the pretty dominant alliance, even though we've all been trying to take each other out, right? Those are the four dominant players left. I mean, there were other dominant players, of course, but they got their demise before their character arcs could fully be fleshed out. So yeah, so it's me, Ferret, Air, Maximo, Florangi, Trippier left. Now, what's happening this round, you ask? Well, we have one faction of three with Overload, which is terrifying because Final Six Overload, not a good idea. So, Florengi came up with this plan. I'm executing it, right? So he's like the mastermind. I'm like the actual one. Like I'm doing the dirty work basically. But hey, if I wasn't here, he probably wouldn't be able to do this. So basically, the idea is I go up to Ferd and Air, we're obviously a duo, and say, hey, we faction together. I can guarantee you that there will not be any overload if we faction together. So they're like, sure, sounds like the best thing for our group, for the entire group, because like they see Blixie, or Florangi, Maximo, Trippier as the three big threats. So like how I've tried to make it, seem like I'm the fourth one, when in actuality I've been telling them all. Well, not sorta. I mean, last round that was all Florangi, but I've been a pretty big part in literally every round so far. So it's not like I've done nothing, it's just I haven't. I've made sure. Wait, shoot, excuse me. I'm just making sure that that I'm not seen as a giant threat because in the final four and three, that's where I really don't want to be seen as a threat. But currently, I'm starting to crawl in my shell as I do at final six. So the idea is that that happens, and then Florangi berserks. So that will mean that it is impossible for there to be a third faction because Florangi is berserked. The three of us are in a faction, and there's only two other people left. So Maximo and Trippier go into the riot, Hopefully Florangi lives. I'm betting he will. And Maximo or Trippier will go. Hopefully Maximo. That would be best case for my game at least. If not, we'll just have to auto limb him next round, which I'm hoping will be either a faction of 4 or factions of 2. Yeah, I think they'll do an auto limb final 5. So yeah, that is the current plan. Now, what Maximo thinks the current plan is that Florangi, him are gonna faction up, and Tripier is gonna be stuck with Furret and Air. That's what he thinks the thing is, and he's gonna tell the decoy of me, Tripier, and Maximo, with me pretending to ditch Florangi. It's a pretty solid plan just overall, considering basically the basis of this entire thing is the way the final six is set up. It's basically I'm the true neutral, if that makes sense. Well, also, like, not everyone loves me, but not everyone absolutely despises me and wants me gone immediately, right? So you have, the best way I can describe it, you have Aaron Furret being the two, like, you need these people on you. They're numbers basically. Aaron Furret. Then you have Maximo Tripira, who is the other second duo, who is kind of torn apart, but they're still trying to work together, but they're 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 not as tight as the rest. So they're really another group that you could just try and grab, if that makes sense. And then there's me and Florangi. Me and Florangi have been day ones because of that one VC we went in together. The entire VC changed the entire game, but uh, yeah, me and Florangi tight. We're trying to control everything, right? So the goal is that Maximer and Tripura get split up entirely with one of them gone, and Aaron Furret earn my trust at least, and maybe a little bit of Florangi's, because I'm hoping that the final four will be me, Florangi, Aaron Furret. So then final four, we I can try and throw Air and Florangi, or no, I just want Air out really, in all honesty. I want air out final four. So then at final three, I can be like, Ferret, let's faction up together. We need to take out Flarangi or else we're screwed. And then faction up with Flarangi as well and be like, Flarangi, we're going to final two together. It'll be great. I don't go into the riot. I'm guaranteed final two. So if I can get those two to final three with me, I'm solid. Another good idea was is Air gets out next round if Maximo goes this round. Or if Trippier goes this round, then we take Maximo out next round. Then we take Air out. Then it's just up to chance, to be honest. Uh, if Maximo goes this round, then I could honestly take out Air next round. Then go for Trippier after that and get the same final three, which would be it'd be easier for me to target Tripira in all honesty. So I think that's the best plan, and then really the final two is just randomized for me. I'm guaranteed final two if I get that far. So that's the hope. I have a clear shot to final two. I just need to take the snipe. To everyone is I'm not saying that, but everyone is under my control now, which is great. Which is great. It's nice being in a seat of power that nobody really recognizes yet. But still, I'm kind of like threatening Maximo in a way. Like I'm just embracing my inner villain. Okay, come on, let me have some fun here. Yeah, like basically telling Maximo, yeah, it's either you or Trippier, so you better work with me or you're gone. Just straight up, like I gotta be honest with him if I want him to trust me. So yeah, that's the idea. So I'm lying about lying about lying about telling the truth with Vert and Air. I think that's right. I may be wrong about that description. I don't know. I'm just taking all this chaos, beautiful chaos that I've made and turning it into something nice for me. So yeah, hopefully this round goes well. If this round goes well, I'm pretty much set up for endgame, and that's the idea. I've been trying to set myself up for endgame. The past each round has contributed to me getting here, even without me seeing it. Like let's see, first round, First round we got out Gabe and Ramen. That kind of tore me a bit because like I really liked Ramen, but it forced me to stick with Austin and Ace, which honestly, hindsight was a mistake, but was also a great choice for me because that made me a swing because it was kind of like I don't know how to, it's always been kind of like Florangi's side versus the trolls. That's how it seemed. And I've been the swing, but I've also been Florangi's number one, which makes me kind of on Florangi's side, but also in the middle. And it's just been a great position, honestly. I've just been leeching off of Florangi, getting all these juicy kills. And then let's see if I check the pins so I can see the elimination order. Yeah, after that, Max and Snowy went. Max went before Soy, I believe, and that was just honestly Max was just a problem for my game because him and Snowy were both causing chaos. That entire group was just a no for me, right? So I'm glad those two went. Next round, Mega went. This was a peak for me because we got everyone to work together to get a common enemy, one that specifically wanted to target me. So yeah, that's how we got Mega out. Then after Mega went out, Austin went out. This was a low point for me because I ended up in the riot, I do believe. So the reason why this is such a low point was just because Austin was someone close, but sort of realized that, hey, my relationships with the people on Florangi's side isn't as strong as the relationships I have on the middle, which I really strengthen my bonds with the middle, but if I want to be a good flip and like a good think that I gotta be on both sides decently. So I really tried to strengthen myself with the stronger side, which was Florangi's side. After Max went, Crevice and Ace went. This was a high point for me, actually, because I really wanted Crevice gone in this uh riot, and it was great that he kind of just threw and he wasn't on jury. But Ace was pissed at me because I blindsided Ace for the great four. Me, Tripura, Maximo, Floranki. You can't go wrong with us for trying to blindside each other. It's really just us for causing chaos at this point. But yeah, Ace will be pissed at me, but in hindsight, I think Ace going was one of the best decisions that could have happened because that set me up for everything else, which is great because wait, where did Snook? I didn't make a round 8 video confessional. Okay, so then Snoot, when he kind of just threw, that was a great thing because Snoot was like a kind of a core person inside of the trolls side. And then no, yeah, then after him, we got Nilo out, and Nilo was a very important factor because Nilo was more so the core, but also a flip, which was annoying because he was working with both sides, but he primarily stuck with the trolls, which is really annoying for my game, in all honesty. I needed him out. I couldn't trust him. Just no. Yeah, and then after Nilo went, Dean went, which was a low point, but a turning point at the same time. Uh, Dean going, I had made my uh, relationship with Dean really strong. So just him going, the entire plan there was always centered around Maximo goes, I'm staying safe no matter what. No matter what happens, I can't get blindsided because I'm with Blixie. That was the entire purpose of that plan. The idea being I can get out giant threat or sacrifice one of my good allies, basically. Just get him out. Which honestly, I really hope Dean survived that. That would have been made this end game so much easier, but at the same time, I really like the situation I'm in. Honestly, it's really fun right now. And because Dean went, Blixie ended up going next round due to the chaos. And Blixie going is actually the biggest. The I know I've said turning point a lot, but Blixie going is the biggest turning point in my game. That 1 minute decision I made is probably the best decision in my entire game. Because what that did was that showed Maximo and Tripura that they have no power here. Honestly, they were overconfident, and then they realized, shoot, this game has become 3 duos. Oh no. Probably the same could happen with Blixie, but it was more threatening when it's me and Florangi together, because the target that I just tried to get out didn't get out, And now the two people who have been targeting them for the last two rounds are still around at Final Six with another duo who the other two have publicly wanted to go after, which makes you think, huh, maybe the four are gonna go after those two. So that's the whole story currently. That's the storyline of Eradication Season 2 Runaways. So we hope that this will go well in the end. And I honestly think I have a beautifully chaotic final 6 to final 2 route.